All right, we'll call the business meeting to order at 8:04, and we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll start with the oath of offices. Oaths of office.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kate Timmerman, do solemnly swear
to
support the Constitution of the United States,
support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member
of the city of Elko, New Market,
of the city of Elko, New Market,
Minnesota,
Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you.
Congratulations. I, Josh Berg,
I, Josh Berg,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of city council member
the duties of the office of City Council Member
of the city of Elko, New Market, Minnesota,
of the City of Elko, New Market, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Right hand. All right. I, Joe Julius, do solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States,
Support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of mayor
the duties of the office of mayor
of the city of Elko, New Market,
of the city of Elko, New Market,
Minnesota,
Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
All right. First thing we need to do is adopt the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, we have no changes to the agenda this evening.
Okay. Any motions?
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion by Councilmember Bergs, seconded by Councilmember Timmerman. Motion passes. Presentations, proclamations, and acknowledgements. We have none. Annual organizational managers.
Mr. Mayor, at the beginning of each year, the council needs to go through and conduct various organizational matters for the city, primarily related to appointing the official paper, official depositories, identifying an acting mayor for the year, as well as various other appointments for council members over the course of the year. Staff has provided a memo on the item. I guess we'd ask to go through the items that are contained in Resolution 1901 related to the organization of the city, which includes the depository, the official paper, and the acting mayor. Related to the depository, because of the mayor's occupation, he will need to refrain from discussion on that item and abstain from the vote on that resolution, but he would be able to participate in any discussion on the other two items. So the first item would be appointment of the acting mayor. Who do we put in the blank?
Any volunteers?
I'd love to try.
I think that's been a good tradition kind of thing, kind of rotated between everybody, so, yeah.
Any objection?
Kate will insert Councilmember Kate in that position.
Okay.
Are there any questions or concerns with regards to the official depository or the official paper? Okay.
No.
That being said, we'd be looking for a motion from the council to adopt Resolution 1901 relating to the organization of the city of Elko, New Market.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second, yeah, sorry, I was reading. Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain? Motion passes.
Next item on the agenda is all of the other various appointments for council. Let me just pull it up here real quick so we can go through them all. The first one would be the Scott County Association for Leadership and Efficiency. Traditionally, the mayor, the city administrator, and another council person have been appointed as the designees, but as has been the case with an increasing number of councils within the county, they're simply designating the entire council to go to those meetings as they can and schedules permit. I would suggest that that is a good practice. We would simply post all of the scale meetings as posted meetings, so I don't need to know who's going and when, and you can simply attend. However, with regards to the scale executive committee, the city does need to have a designated representative to serve the city. Most of the other cities have their mayor serving, but it's not an absolute requirement. But the city council should designate an individual to be the primary representative to that particular group.
Yeah, Julius, did you want that appointment?
I would. I
Okay.
was at the last one. And
Perfect.
any objections?
Nope.
Okay.
Does the council agree with just posting the scale meetings?
Yes.
Council as a whole?
Yep.
Okay. Scott Joint Prosecution Association. Historically, this organization we actually had, as a joint powers agreement organization, our own lead attorney and prosecuting attorneys. Over time, they started officing jointly with the Scott County Attorney's Office, and a couple years ago, actually, the Scott County Attorney's Office absorbed our employees from the SJPA, and now the SJPA as an entity contracts with them. So at this point, what the board really does is oversee that contract in relationship with the Scott County Attorney's Office. The document which organizes it says that it would be the city administrator or chief of police that would represent the city on that board. We would recommend that the city administrator with the chief of police, titular chief of police, since we currently have a vacancy in that position, would serve the city as the alternate. Does the city council have any concerns with that?
No.
Similar situation, the Joint Regional Training Facility Board. That one can be any member of the council or city administration. Traditionally, the city administrator has served as the primary representative with the chief of police serving as the alternate. Does the council have any concerns with that approach in the future? Okay.
No objections.
Okay. I-35 Solutions Alliance. This is an organization made up of municipalities and counties located along 35, basically from downtown Minneapolis all the way out to and through to Elko New Market. We're the southernmost participant in that entity. Essentially, their job is to lobby for improvements to the I-35 corridor, either for roadway or transit to improve the capacity of that roadway. They also help lobby for adjacent corridors that increase the capacity on 35. We've been a member for a number of years. Councilmember Josh served as a representative over the last year. We'd be looking for somebody to be appointed to serve in 2019.
I would love to continue on that, seeing as I just started when Trish left, made it to the first one today. I would enjoy, I think it'd be a fun group to be a part of, so.
Excellent.
Any objections?
Fire Relief Board. Under statute, we would appoint a councilperson and another member of the administrative member of the city to the board. Historically, it used to be the mayor and the clerk, but they've broadened it in more recent years. Kate has been serving in that position over the last year, and then I also serve as the administrative representative to the board. Primary responsibilities: monitoring investment decisions, reviewing forms to meet reporting requirements, hiring external consultants, meeting fiduciary standards. In practice, the city members of the board that aren't actual firefighters were there for decisions with regards to the pension and any major financial decisions that the organization makes during the year. And that's essentially why we have a vested right to be on that board, because ultimately we underwrite the pension as the city, and the taxpayers of the city do that. So we have those voting rights on the board. We'd be looking for somebody to continue to serve in that role. Kate served last year.
I would love to continue on it.
Any objections?
Okay. Project staff meeting was an item that we had appointees to in the past. However, over the course of last year, we have indefinitely suspended project staff meetings. It was prior to Dawn, so she doesn't have the background on that. But basically, it was almost an all-staff meeting where we had staff consultants in the room, and we'd cover a variety of activities. What we found over time is that wasn't the most efficient way to handle the business. We're now meeting those needs through other ways. Also, the addition of staff internally, to a large degree, Renee, in previous years, it was my way to be able to get everybody in the room at the same time to get things done. Now Renee's in a position where she can do that separately as necessary to keep the plate spinning, so to speak. So we've essentially found that we don't believe that there's a need for that to occur at this time. So we're not proposing to have any appointees to the project staff since it's in hiatus.
But the DRT portion.
However, there is a DRT portion that's an ad hoc. Basically, would consist of those staff members that would be relevant to the review of a particular development item. Traditionally, we have had a council person serve as a representative to that group. I think it's a good idea to continue that practice, and we'd be looking for somebody to be appointed to the DRT.
I would love the opportunity,
I-
but
I would as well, and we've had 2 council members be part of that before.
I do have concerns with having 2 council people because you now have 40% of the council showing up what is essentially a staff meeting and
Okay.
what can be early discussions with the developer. I think it's good to have one person there to show the engagement of the council as appropriate, cheerlead. But when you have 40% of the council there, the developer starts looking to those council people to make commitments, decisions, or guarantee certain
can you
things.
do Joe as primary, and if he can't make it, then I would go?
We have done that in the past, yes.
I do think in the past, when it was Mayor Crawford and myself, I don't believe I muddied the waters, and I understand your concern, but I don't know that it hurts to have 2 people available. I don't know, it's up to the council. I would like to be part of it, but I don't want to exclude anyone else.
I would be okay being your fill-in if you are not available.
Okay, so do the alternate route. All right, any objections? Okay.
Minnesota Valley Transit Authority, we are a member.
CCEC. I think you
CCEC.
skipped
Did I skip it?
Yep.
Yep.
Project staff. I did. CCEC, as you know, is a city committee which consists of the city and all of the nonprofit organizations in the community that sponsor and run and help facilitate community and civic events within the community. It's been the big driver in a lot of the growth and quality of life events that we do in the community over recent years. Part of its composition is a council representative. We'd be looking for a council person to serve in that capacity. It has been Kate over the last year.
And some, but yeah.
Do you want to
It's
continue?
It's a
or-
good one if you want to get
I
into
was
it.
going to say I would love to.
Your first meeting's tomorrow, or next Tuesday.
Got it.
And it's not at 6:30, it's at 5:30.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yep.
I would have showed up at 6:30.
Councilmember C. Prasad, that's a role you would like?
Yes, please.
Any objections?
No, it's a good one
Thank
to
you.
start off with.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Next item would be Minnesota Valley Transit Authority. We are an ex officio member of the board for the MVTA. We don't pay in, but we don't vote, but we do participate. MVTA is one of the transit providers along the I-35 corridor that does serve our community up the corridor. We don't have anything in currently, and in my opinion, as staff is the transit provider that would be most likely to provide service to us first in the future. We've been engaged in transit discussions within Scott County back when they had a transit review board before the merger with MVTA. And we continued that participation following the merger. The thought is that transit generally contains a long planning timeline, years to plan, secure funding, put the capital assets in place. And participation up front and being engaged has been a goal of the city so that we'd be better positioned when transit becomes a reality for the community down the road. So it's a long-term return. In the previous year, Trish and Mayor Crawford were the appointees to the MVTAs, the primary and alternate. We'd be looking for a primary and alternate again.
Any volunteers?
If nobody else wants to do it, I will do it.
I was actually gonna suggest a member of city staff, if that's something city staff would be open to doing, being that you're engaged, well, longer than we may be serving in our seats.
I would have to go, I'll be honest, that question hasn't come up. I'm not sure that as a staff member, I believe the organizational documents identify
have
an
to be
elected official.
elected
I can
official.
verify that, so we can come up with a if-then solution to that.
Okay.
If it is a staff person, we can the council can designate the city administrator or their designee to attend. But if it has to be an elected official, I think we should identify somebody that would
Okay.
participate.
Kate, did you volunteer?
I'll volunteer for that, yes.
Councilmember Tim,
Okay.
almost called you Timmons, Timmerman.
That's right.
50 by 30 live, learn, earn, collective impact. When that initiative started a few years ago, we actually had very high participation with a council person sitting on every committee, I think with the exception of the educational committee. Over time, due to time constraints and other reasons, we have not been as engaged currently. I guess the question is, do we want to take an official action to identify council people to participate on particular committees or not? One thing I should point out is that currently 50 by 30 Live, Learn, Earn reports back to the Scale Executive Committee, to which the mayor has just been appointed to represent the city, so it's not as if we would be totally disconnected from the effort.
Well, you two were more involved in the 50 by 30 than I was last year. Do you feel that it would behoove us to assign people or just stick with the scale?
No.
Okay.
I 100% agree. It's a waste of
Awesome.
time.
Perfect.
It's, and with the scale, we do get the updates via scale and compare. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've gone through all of the,
Wow. I didn't hear from you. Do you have any?
No,
objection?
It might not be a waste of time if you want to go, but
Right.
in my humble
No.
opinion.
If you have updates from scale, then, I mean,
Okay.
to me, I don't, it's no
Alright.
point, I guess.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So we've gone through all the appointments. So to make this most efficient, I think I'll read through the appointments, and if everybody agrees, we can just do a motion as stated. The mayor and council would all be appointed as representatives to Scale. The mayor would be appointed as the representative to the Scale Executive Committee with the city administrator as the alternate. The city administrator and chief of police as the alternate would represent the city at the Scott Joint Prosecution Association. The city administrator and the chief of police as an alternate would represent the city on the Joint Regional Training Facility Board. Councilmember Berg with the city administrator as the alternate would serve as the representatives to the I-35 Solutions Alliance. The city administrator and Councilmember Timmerman would represent the city on the Fire Relief Board. Councilmember Seepersod would serve as the council representative to the Civic and Community Events Committee. The mayor would serve as the council representative to the Development Review Team. Councilmember Timmerman and the city administrator as the alternate would serve on the MVTA board. Does that work?
That was the other way around, or we're waiting.
Waiting to see.
Yeah.
Depending upon,
Right.
I'll figure out how to word it out in the
Okay.
minutes, but depending upon the ability to have a staff person serve.
Okay.
And the city will not be appointing any specific representatives to the 50 by 30 Collective Impact Project.
So you need a motion?
Yes.
Motion.
Don't. Go ahead.
Go. Motion to adopt,
We already, so just be, you could just do a so moved.
so moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Timmerman, seconded by Councilmember Berg. Any further discussion? All right, let's vote. All in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion passes. Is that all for organizational stuff, Tom?
It is, so we could move on to
Public comment?
public comment. Commissioner Wolf is here this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Yep. All right, we'll open it for public comment. Commissioner Wolf?
Good evening, everybody, and congratulations to at least three of you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe four at some point. Anyhow, a couple things tonight. First thing is that I just found out today, I don't know if anybody heard of Steve Miller Band. They're a jet. They're going to be in Prior Lake.
Never heard of him.
It's a rap group or something. Covers, I guess, right. Yeah. Actually, I saw Steve Miller back in July something, 1979.
Wow.
At Met Stadium. With the Eagles, it was a good concert. Anyhow, and then Brad Paisley's coming on Saturday night, so that's the Prior Lake Lakefront Music Festival. So that's actually
Nice.
two pretty decent acts, you know, they don't get the A-listers anymore, but that's, I think that's pretty good. A couple other items, the YMCA has filed for a permit out in Newmarket Township. While I sat here, I got almost 15 emails from people who are protesting it, so. And that's not all of them. So they don't see the value. They don't, you know, why if there's traffic coming and kids coming, you know, what's the value to the township? And, you know, there's some merit to that. You know, some of these people would rather have housing. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, a lot of these things, if they meet, and it's the same with the city here, if they meet the requirements that are set out, they can do it. And we can't change things just because we don't want that to come in here. So
I was going to say, Counselor, is there a strong basis to deny provided criteria?
I don't know yet. And I can't make up my mind until I've seen all the stuff. You know how that works. So it's, you know, it's a tough deal. And if we do deny it at the end of the day, the YMCA, I believe, has some deep pockets. They could turn around and say, why? We want to take this to court, and they could full well win and get court costs from us too. So the best course is, if they do come, you know, is to get some conditions into the CUP, the conditional use permit, so that, you know, it's pretty tight and, you know, in black and white, that if they do or don't do something, we have some teeth to.
So whose hands is it primarily in right now? Township, county, or?
County. Yep, the county is gonna be the one, us, that makes the final decision. So it's right now in the planning and zoning department. They have checklists of all the things, you know, where's the bathrooms, where's the driveways, where's the roads, where all this stuff, to check everything. And then it goes to the planning and zoning, and they're hoping that's February 11th, although I think that's optimistic. And then after that, it would come to the county board probably by within a month or so from that. So I think they have 60 or something days to get this thing going where it's either yes or no. So keep an eye on that. Then now Leslie Vermillion is now our new administrator, so we'll be looking to set up meetings with the mayor and the administrator, and myself and Leslie. Barb Brecky is from District 1, is now the chair of the board, which I'm glad about. So, it's a lot of extra stuff. It's okay, but I've been chair 5 of my 10 years, and it's you know, it's okay to sit on the side once in a while. So, plowing roads, we are seeing some people plowing roads. When they plow their driveway, they're plowing it across into a ditch or something, and then they leave a little ridge of snow that, you know, trails across, that falls out of the plow. And it's not so bad usually, but some of that slush has been freezing solid, and they're leaving these big, you know, ridges, and people hit them at full speed, and boom, boom, and it's dangerous and illegal. So if you see that, if you're watching, you know, keep it, you know, on the side or in your lawn. And then I-35, you know, Josh and I were there this morning, and a lot of stuff that's being taken care of there on 35, you know, in the cities. It's going to be done in a couple, 2-3 years here. So it's the next thing that we would be pushing for is something in this area. So that's something that we need to look at in their on the horizon. To, you know, when they're done with that, there's always something else to do. So keep that in the back of your mind. So that's all I have tonight. So, yep, congratulations again. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Once, comment is closed. Consent agenda. Does anyone have anything on the consent agenda they want to pull, discuss? Okay.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Councilmember Timmerman, second by Councilmember Berg. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. No public hearings. General business.
Council conducted interviews of council appointees to fill the vacancy that was created with the election of Mayor Julius. I guess at this point, it's really just a matter of the council discussing the candidates and identifying who they want to make the appointee.
All right. Well, who wants to go first?
Oh,
Look
you
at me,
go
I'm
first.
supposed to talk last. Well, we had 3 good candidates. You know, Ms. Novak, I don't know that we had met her, I personally hadn't met her before, but seemed very prepared and eager to be part of our team. Mr. Strong has been very visible in the community and seems very knowledgeable and prepared. And of course, we've gotten to know John, who's been attending a lot of our council meetings and ran. So we're fortunate to have some really good candidates, which makes it that much harder. So, what do you
I'll
think,
get the ball
Josh?
rolling. No, I mean, I think they all bring different qualities and strengths, whatever. I do think that there's value in John applying for, or running for it, getting, you know, hundreds and hundreds of votes from our community already. And I think that, I mean, that speaks a lot. I think the experience that he would bring, kind of, that I certainly don't have, I think would be extremely helpful. So, I mean, that's where I'm leaning.
Do you feel strong about John? Okay.
I would have to agree. I think John is definitely a great asset to our team up here. His fortitude, his push from day one with the vacancy, running a good campaign till now, and just his knowledge, his background, I think would be beneficial for us as a council.
I would have to agree. I just, my only thing is I was in that position at one point too, and, I mean, not John's position, but I understand why maybe Amanda and Kelly didn't step up, I guess I should say. I don't want to use the words step up like that, like, you know, but I can understand why they didn't, and I just, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with this because I didn't go to a lot of council meetings either before.
Neither did I. Full front on it.
You know, I didn't, and I went through the same interview that they all went through, and then I didn't make it, and then the elections came up, and I almost didn't do it, and look at where I am now. So I'm having a hard time with this. I really am.
I'm happy to be devil's advocate too, I don't care. Yeah,
I
I mean,
just,
like,
I think any one of them would do well.
I do.
Here's what's cool about our community. I mean, we're not Bloomington, we're not Shakopee, maybe Shakopee's a bad example, but we're not a big community where if you want to be in the city council or on a planning commission piece, you have to spend a lot of time raising money, you have to be super polished with you know, you can, I don't want to say learn on the job, but all of us, none of us had any real municipality experience coming in here. And so I like the raw, just desire to help the community that Amanda and Kelly had brought. And That said, I think you know, John being present at so many council meetings, running for office, attending the candidate forum, I think he's maybe a step ahead in being able to sit down at the city council meetings and participate from day one and make good informed decisions. So I would probably have to lean towards John myself.
Does anybody have concerns about the lack of length of tenure, I guess, residency? I mean, because the other two have certainly been here longer as part of the community. I mean, does that, I don't know.
I was here for a year before I got elected.
Me too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I don't have a problem with it. But me and John have gotten to know each other, so a little bit, right, John? But I just, I'm not saying that John's not loyal, that's not what I'm saying. I see, it's just this why. It's like, why only after 10 months? That's just my only thing, you know, I'm not saying there's any bad intention or any bad reasons or anything at all. That's it.
So, the three of us have kind
Yeah, you
of
guys-
stated our
you
first
guys-
choice.
Well, I mean,
you guys sure have.
I'm always convincible. I mean, so
Yeah.
out of the other two, I mean, do you have a strong feeling one way or another that way?
I think for the other two, I think I'm having a more stronger feeling towards Amanda, I think.
Okay.
Just because, and I think one of the couple things I think that really stuck out, I think Amanda was just a little bit more, I think, prepared in a way. And she read the survey. I mean, who read the survey?
Right.
I don't know.
She did read the survey.
And she, had notes and stuff, and her experience as well. I just, again, I have to say, John has a very long resume, and he has a lot of experience. And I just don't want to be, okay, well, he has the experience. Well, I just feel like we need to give other people chances. That's all. That's all.
You guys want to keep discussing, or? And again,
Like I
no
said,
offense to Kelly, no offense to Amanda, I think it says a lot about the commitment and dedication that John's
I agree with you
shown.
on that. I do.
I'd have a hard time not having John as my first choice. So if we're ready to vote, or if we want to discuss this further, it's up to the rest of the council.
I'd make a motion to appoint John to the council.
Yeah, we have a motion,
Second.
we have a second.
Oh, hold up,
Wait.
Mr. Administrator.
Suggest rephrasing
Oh, hello.
to adopt resolution 1903, appointing John to the council.
I make a motion to adopt resolution 19-03, appointing John to the city council.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you all for taking the time to apply. It's not an easy thing, and it's not comfortable sitting in front of us and having 5 people firing questions at you.
Oh, really?
Really one, we would kind of.
I had a great time.
5 people staring at you.
5 people staring at you, and
And
Josh
we
just
don't want
getting
to
dirty
deter
looks.
you from helping in the community. You guys all bring great ideas and thoughts to help with the community. There's other ways that you can help, and then, in 2 years, come back, try again. Don't give up, just
That's what I did.
keep plugging.
Well, he's gonna do a terrible job as mayor.
Right.
Chance there.
Well, but beyond that, there is a planning commission seat open. I know that posting recently applied, but those have been, or closed,
It's
but,
closed.
That was for the most recent resignation. We're still going to be posting for,
okay. So there's gonna be
Just
another
as-
posting coming for the planning commission. not long ago, we made the decision that for all appointees, we're gonna ask everyone to reapply. So I really would love to see you both find ways to continue to be involved in the city, bring your experiences and your strengths, and hopefully one of those appeal to you. So, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. And John, congratulations. On to reports.
Under administration, I didn't have anything on the agenda, but I do remember it made it up to the council. I have talked with some of you about it over the last couple of days. I have approached Sandy about her interest in possibly working on a very part-time basis to serve in helping train on relevant areas, deputy clerk hire and the accountant hire, duties that she was previously responsible for. She's already been in multiple times volunteering her time. I think Friday she was here all day. She showed up supposedly for a little bit, and by the end of the day, I walk out, here she is. She's bringing me stuff onto my desk like it was a month ago. She just stayed the whole day. I do think there's a need for us to do that from a standpoint that if we can access that knowledge and expertise on a very part-time basis to train people in certain areas, it'll increase their knowledge base and the ramp-up time will be so much better. So if the council's open to that, and Sandy's agreeable to it, I would bring back something for action by the council at the next council meeting, to allow us to be able to do that.
Any objections?
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I do too. Wasn't there, Tom, we talked about something yesterday that you were gonna bring up?
Yes, actually, Craig's gonna bring it up, under his report, but we could do it now.
Oh, we can.
We conducted first round police officer interviews.
Yes, that's right.
As you guys know, earlier this week, out of the 22 candidates that we interviewed, we'll be moving 8 on to the second round of interviews. As is our practice, we have a council person sitting in on that interview panel to select that next police officer, so we'd be looking for a volunteer.
Do you know when it's gonna be?
23rd is when it's tentatively scheduled.
Did you say that already? I just completely ignored you.
Did you say February 23rd?
January
I mean,
23rd.
okay.
I can't.
I don't think I can either.
It's the last day before I guess I could just say screw it and
What are they
get
gonna
done a
do?
day early. No,
Did you quit?
I switched.
Oh,
This would be with 8 candidates, this would be an all-day.
It'll be a good chunk of the day.
if nobody else can do it, I can do it.
And you said the
Available.
23rd, right?
23rd, yep.
January?
We usually start in the morning, 8:30. That's not a set time, but gives you an idea that.
One or two.
But Kate wants to.
I think one would be adequate for this purpose. The interview panel would consist of the council person, myself, and Craig.
You guys want to flip a coin or rock, paper, scissors?
I don't, it doesn't matter, whatever.
Kate, you've been here longer, so
That
you've
doesn't
got-
matter.
Yeah, it does.
No, it
You've got
doesn't.
seniority.
No, that,
This is fun.
I don't care. Just pick somebody.
I would like to do it.
Okay, give it to Dawn. Let her try it.
Councilmember Seeberside.
There you go.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. There's no seniority.
Well, I'm just trying to be respectful.
No, you're fine. That's perfectly
All
fine.
right, Public Works.
Corey didn't have anything he wanted me to specifically relate beyond the report.
Okay. Please.
Same, chugging along.
How you guys doing staff-wise, backfilling hours with Steve being long gone and no issues?
Well, we have the county covers and we're out on
Yeah.
and relying on them a lot more for that, but that's about all we can do at this point. We're filling everything we can, but
I was at the township board meeting earlier this week, and I just wanted to pass along, there was a resident that the sheriff's office gave their update, and someone had asked who's in charge of, patrolling County Road 2, and it was not negative, it was actually really positive. They said the police department was doing a great job, so I want to pass that on. So is it safe to assume no fire department updates?
Correct.
Engineering.
Just to let the council know, the mailed notices for the public hearing that we'll be holding on the street improvements for next year, well, for this year, went out this week. So if you get calls, that may prompt some calls to you. It included the estimated assessment amount. Hopefully, if that's the only thing they're concerned about, they'll at least have that information. But
And when is
the hearing is at the next council
the
meeting.
20th?
Have fun, John.
Okay. Welcome aboard. Anything else, Rich?
Nope.
No? Community development?
I would just add, I don't have a report in the packet, but I would add that we're working hard on the County Road 2 roundabout project. Bolton and Nick is doing a great job. We are now trying to, we're really working with the property owners who we need to acquire right away from, our easements. And we're trying to prepare for a very quality open house in early February. The date hasn't been set, but a lot of work going on behind the scenes on that. And we're getting some development inquiries that we're also responding to.
Okay. Anyone with questions? All right, thanks, Renee. Parks, Mark, have anything additional you want to?
He did not have anything he wanted me to specifically bring to your attention up beyond what was in the report.
Okay. Scales tomorrow morning?
What, yeah, can we talk about it? Who's all going? Because I want to go.
It has not been posted, so.
Right, so only two of us can go.
Oh, you go.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
All right,
fine.
wanna
I
talk
was
to one of the
going to,
representatives
but
that's gonna be there.
that's fine. I was going to, but good, I'll sleep in instead.
For council motion, I will not be there. We're going to be conducting deputy clerk interviews in the morning, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
MVTA?
Fourth Wednesday, according to me.
Okay.
So I haven't been there yet.
Josh, I-35.
It was the shortest meeting apparently in history, so I'm glad I went. I mean, it was like 25 minutes-ish. One of the persons that's usually there didn't make it, didn't show up, and nobody got a hold of him, so I don't know what happened. So they went through updates and that kind of stuff, and like Tom alluded to, they're gonna be starting to plan the next set of priorities over the next 8 months, 9 months. So they'll be identifying, we'll need to identify, and I don't know how it was done in the past, one person from the city to be the point of contact. I don't know if that is typically you as the
Yep.
administrator? Okay.
Yep.
To send out the survey stuff too, and to respond to workshop requests and different things like that.
We'll respond to it, but in reality, it'll be probably Rich and Renee that will
Okay.
help pull that information together. That's going to be an effort that we're really going to want to be engaged in, because it's almost like scale when they set their legislative priorities. This is the projects that they're going to prioritize and decide what they're going to be pushing for money for the next few years. So the last time we went through this, of course, we promoted the interchange, obviously. But relative to things like, the 494-35W interchange, it didn't score in that range. But that is a process that every time it comes up, we want to continue to push our item and make sure that it stays on the board and try and elevate it over time.
And I think, I mean, there's a lot of, I learned a lot just in that few minutes too with the updates. You know, there's the min pass going all the way down to 70. There's, I mean, lots of things that would be very, very beneficial to us that were super close. I think the min pass thing or the extra lane or something with 70 was the next one that was just on the chopping block from the previous round, so, yeah. Was that the place with the donuts too? Because I didn't try the donuts. Is that
They
the one?
usually have donuts, yes.
All right, I didn't try the donuts.
Anyone have questions for Josh? All right. Chamber of Commerce, we don't have, we didn't designate a specific Chamber of Commerce representative. I think that was intentional. Renee is going to the next Chamber Board meeting. I don't know, maybe at the next meeting after that, you could give an update, if that's okay, if there's something to be updated.
Yeah, staff attended, there's a chamber coffee this week that we attended. And they asked us to attend the next meeting, and then we will be hosting a lunch and learn, which is like a 2-hour educational session for chamber members that want to sign up. So the city is going to host and speak at that in March.
far as the updates, Renee will be incorporating basically the chamber meetings, any updates from that into her regular community development updates for the council. So,
CCEC,
Meeting Tuesday.
meeting Tuesday. No downtown improvement committee, so on to discussion by council. Anyone
Just
have-
wanted to say thank you to all the applicants, you guys, for actually applying and coming and going through the interview process. And
Coming up.
congratulations, John.
Coming out of your comfort zone is
Yes.
not always easy.
One thing I have for discussion by council, I want to let the rest of the council know, I've been talking with Tom about having a council retreat of some sort. Idea behind that, and we're kind of planning it out and working it out right now. And of course, this is a time if the rest of the council is just adamantly opposed to this, then let's talk about it. I think it would really be great to be in a more informal setting, probably just City Hall for a few hours or something like that. Obviously, we'd have to post it, but this is a new year. We all have goals, we all have things that we want to get accomplished. I really like the idea of a less formal setting and more open dialogue where we can really kind of map out what we want to do in 2019, so.
I actually really love that idea.
I do too.
Josh, do you hate it?
I totally was thinking like Craigan's or something though, when you said retreat. I
I was thinking golf.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yes, going golfing.
But if it's City Hall, it has to be.
Well, we cut that contingency down at the last meeting.
Oh, don't, why'd you bring that up?
Yeah, who did that? Tom, would you have anything to add on that, or?
no, we're kind of talking about format and what it's going to take to resource that, because to have discussions, to be meaningful, they need to be informed discussions, and so there's prep work and resources. So we're kind of working through what the concept, and we'll make the pitch at future meetings. So.
All right. Anyone want to make a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Or does anyone have anything else to
No, I was
discuss?
thinking, I'm just starting to think of fun things for this retreat. Maybe we do it at the police station. We lock us each up and we can ask each other questions. We can have
Wait a
some-
minute now.
I don't know,
Wait.
you know?
Just do an escape room?
Or something, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to do it here. Let's just think about a different place to do it.
Well, yeah,
All right.
I just want the
We'll do it
council to know it's
Firefly.
something that's kind of being worked on.
Let's do it at Firefly.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping maybe at a future meeting, we can kind of plan that out and set that
Okay.
stage a little bit more, but I'm glad everyone's open to it.
All right, sorry.
Anything for Joe?
Any motions?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second. Any discussion? Motion by Timmerman, second by Berg. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Don't back
Meeting
up.
is adjourned.